The sky over the planet Thalner was a swirl of dark purples and silver streaks. Lightning danced across the horizon, not like any storm Alex had ever seen, but like threads of energy pulling themselves across the clouds. The ground beneath his boots was jagged and uneven, black rocks mixed with strange crystal shards that glimmered faintly in the stormlight. Even from a distance, the planet seemed hostile, as if it had no intention of welcoming anyone. Alex tightened his grip on the control panel as the small ship shuddered through the final descent. The ship itself was difficult. Old, battered, and prone to complaining, it had personality, too much of it. Honestly, Alex, the ship groaned in a low, metallic rumble. Why must we land on this terrifying rock? I'm perfectly capable of handling easier planets, ones that don't want to fry my circuits. Alex rolled his eyes. You've said that 10 times since we left orbit. I will say it 10 more, and then 10 more after that. I am warning you. The ship's lights flickered as if punctuating its outrage. Alex sighed and glanced at the external scanners. We have the coordinates. The minerals are here, and this planet is our only chance. Stop grumbling and land. The ship snorted, which came out as a series of clanks and groans. Fine, but don't expect me to enjoy this. And if we get fried, I'm holding you personally responsible. With a shudder and a hiss, the ship's landing struts extended. The storm below lashed at the hull, striking the metal with sparks and low-energy discharges. The ship groaned again as it touched the jagged surface. "Welcome to Thalner," Alex said, stepping down onto the rocky ground. His boots crunched on the mixture of stone and crystal, sending tiny sparks of light scattering. "Let's see what we've got here." The ship's AI whistled in a mechanical approximation of a sigh. "What we've got is a death trap. That's what we've got." "I hope you like hazardous environments, Alex, because this is peak hazard." Alex ignored it. He had a plan. The minerals Thalner held were rare, highly valuable, and needed to repair older starships or build new ones. If he could just get the ship stabilized, he could prove himself as an engineer. He stepped toward the ship's hull and scanned the landing area. The crystals embedded in the ground hummed faintly. They weren't just decorative. They were part of the planet's natural energy field. That was probably why every ship that came before had trouble landing. Many had never returned. Alex knelt and examined the landing sensors. Okay, the magnetic field is stronger than expected. The stabilizers are barely holding. The ship let out a long, metallic groan. Barely. Barely is not acceptable. I am a superior vessel. I should not be groaning in the presence of a few rocks and sparkling crystals. Alex chuckled. You'll survive. I'll fix it if you don't. He began accessing the ship's exterior panels, pulling open hatches, checking the circuits, and rerouting power to counter the erratic magnetic field. Every time he adjusted something, the ship muttered complaints. "Careful, Alex. That wire is very old." "Do you really want to touch it?" "Yes," Alex replied. "I want to touch it, and if I don't, we stay here forever whining and useless." The ship sputtered in objection. "Useless? I am not useless. I am highly advanced. I have survived 5 galactic storms, 12 asteroid belts, and—" Alex interrupted. "You're grumpy, I know. Just hang in there." For a few tense minutes, the only sounds were the crackling of electricity in the storm and the ship's ongoing complaints. Then the external scanners lit up. "Alert! Alert! Incoming planet security systems!" The ship blared. Alex froze. "Security systems? What?" Before he could finish, beams of light shot from hidden pylons in the ground. The scanners flared red and a mechanical voice boomed across the landing site. "Unauthorized vessel. You do not meet planet entry requirements. Depart immediately or face repulsion protocols." Alex stepped back. "Repulsion protocols? Seriously?" The ship groaned louder than ever. "Finally, someone agrees with me. This rock doesn't want us here. We've been judged unworthy, Alex. Do you hear me? Unworthy." Alex frowned and tapped his wrist console, trying to override the scanners. Nothing worked. The planet's automated systems had locked them out. "Well," Alex muttered, "guess we need another approach." The ship's lights flickered indignantly. "Another approach? I have told you these rocks, these crystals, these inhospitable shards of doom are beyond our capability." "Why do you insist on trying?" Alex smiled faintly. "Because I can fix it and because you're mine to fix." The ship paused, almost as if considering that. "Mine to fix," it repeated. "That is highly insulting, but if it involves you touching me, I suppose I have no choice." Alex ignored the sarcasm and began examining the ship's AI core. The old systems were outdated, patched together with half-broken modules, but Alex had a gift for seeing potential. Where others saw a crumpy, failing ship, he saw possibilities. Hours passed as he carefully rerouted energy flows, recalibrated the sensors, and modified circuits. The ship protested every step of the way, groaning and whining, claiming he was recklessly endangering a vessel of superior design. "I've heard that before," Alex said, wiping sweat from his brow. "You're lucky I like a challenge." By the time the twin suns began to set, painting the horizon in violent streaks of red and orange, Alex stepped back. The ship's systems hummed steadily. It still complained, but the tone had changed slightly, less panic, more irritation. "Well," Alex said, glancing at the planet's security beams, "we're ready. Let's see what happens if we try again." The ship flickered nervously. "Do you have to do that? I am apprehensive." "Highly apprehensive, possibly terrified," Alex laughed. "You'll survive, just follow my lead." The moment he initiated the landing override, the planet's scanners flared red again. Energy beams shot out, brushing the hull. But instead of repelling the ship completely, the modifications Alex had made allowed it to stabilize in the field. The ship's engines hummed as the magnetic storm coursed around them, absorbed and redirected by the new circuits. "Whoa," the ship said in a tone that almost sounded impressed. "That actually worked. I am managing to withstand the field." How did you do that?" Alex grinned. "A little ingenuity, a lot of human stubbornness." The ship paused. "Human stubbornness. You might be onto something there. Perhaps you are not completely useless." Alex laughed. "Careful, flattery doesn't come cheap with me." As night fell over Thalner, the ship settled into the rocky landing site. It still grumbled, but the complaints were lighter now, tinged with curiosity. Alex sat outside the hull, looking up at the storm-lit sky. "This planet's tough," he said softly, "but I like tough." The ship's AI responded, almost reluctantly. "I am beginning to tolerate your presence, human. But do not get used to it. I am still very crumpy, you know." Alex smiled. "Crumpy or not, you're the best ship I've ever worked on. And tomorrow, we'll see just how much better you can become." For the first time since landing, the storm above didn't feel threatening. Together, human and ship had survived the planet's first test. And as the dark sky shimmered with alien lightning, Alex knew that this was just the beginning. The first light of Thalner's twin suns cut through the lingering storm clouds, painting the jagged landscape in shades of gold and violet. Alex stepped outside the ship's hull, taking in the view with a mixture of awe and determination. Yesterday, the planet had tried to reject them. Today, he would prove that human ingenuity could overcome even the most stubborn systems. The ship hummed softly behind him, its exterior lights blinking in a rhythm that almost seemed like impatience. "Good morning, Alex," the ship said, its tone unusually polite. "I have survived the night without complaining. Perhaps I am evolving," Alex grinned. "Or maybe you're just too tired to argue. Either way, I'll take it." "You take it because you demand it," the ship replied. "Do not mistake my silence for pleasure," Alex laughed, walking over to the landing site. He pulled out a portable toolkit and crouched beside the ship's hull. The panels he had fixed yesterday still glowed faintly, evidence of the modifications he had made. But he knew they were only temporary solutions. The planet's energy field was unpredictable. To survive here long-term and to gather the rare crystals they had come for, they would need something more permanent. He tapped the hull and the ship muttered, "Stop that." Tapping is a primitive form of communication. I have internal sensors. I feel your every touch. I know, Alex replied, but it helps me think. He opened another hatch and peered inside the circuitry. Wires snaked in all directions, some burned, others patched together with makeshift connectors. He traced the main energy flow, noticing how the ship struggled to stabilize itself against Thalner's fluctuating magnetic currents. "This is going to take a while," Alex muttered. "But I think I can make it smarter, faster, more adaptable," the ship groaned. "Smarter, faster, adaptable. Are you planning to make me a completely new vessel? Do you realize how insulting that is to my original design?" "You'll thank me later," Alex said with a smile. Hours passed as he worked, his hands steady and precise. He rerouted energy lines, replaced worn circuits, and installed new adaptive modules. The modules allowed the ship to sense fluctuations in the planet's magnetic field and automatically adjust its shielding. Slowly, the grumpy old vessel began to respond better. "Interesting," the ship said after a long pause. "Your modifications, they are effective. I am less unstable." Alex's heart lifted. "See, you can work with me." "I can," the ship admitted reluctantly. "But I am still superior. Remember that," Alex chuckled. "I won't forget, but for now let's focus on surviving." Once the basic systems were stable, Alex decided it was time to explore. The rare crystals that covered the planet were too scattered for him to predict their locations from scans alone. They would need to navigate the landscape carefully, avoiding dangerous energy surges and magnetic spikes. "Are you ready for your first test?" Alex asked. "Test?" "I was designed for galactic exploration. I have faced asteroid belts, solar flares, and pirate fleets. Do you really think I need a test from a human?" "You need a test from this human, yes," Alex said, "because we're working together now, and the planet doesn't like you." The ship paused, a faint hiss of acknowledgement. "Very well, I will follow your lead for now." Alex climbed into the cockpit, scanning the terrain. The crystals glowed faintly, their energy patterns visible through the ship's sensors. "We need to move slowly," he said. "If we trigger one of the planet's energy spikes, the hull could short out." The ship grumbled. "Slowly, humans have such little faith in us." Alex ignored the complaint and guided them forward. The ship's engines hummed smoothly now, responding to subtle adjustments in the controls. For the first time, Alex felt like he wasn't fighting the ship, he was working with it. As they moved through the crystalline landscape, Alex noticed patterns in the energy. Some crystals pulsed in sync with the planet's magnetic field while others seemed dormant. He made notes, marking locations that might be safe for gathering the minerals. "This is incredible," he said quietly. "These crystals, they're not just minerals. They're alive in a way." The ship snorted. "Alive? You mean like sentient? I assure you, Alex, that is impossible." "Maybe not sentient," Alex said, "but responsive. If we can study them, we could use their energy to improve the ship even more." The ship hummed thoughtfully. "HMPH. Perhaps you are not entirely useless in these observations. I will allow it, begrudgingly." As the day wore on, Alex continued working. He noticed small anomalies in the ship's AI behavior. The once constant complaints were now tempered with curiosity. The ship seemed to respond to his actions with a mixture of skepticism and admiration. "Curious," the ship said. "Your human methods, they work. I am adapting faster than expected. Perhaps you are clever." Alex smiled. "Thank you, and you're learning too. We make a good team, even if you won't admit it." "I said nothing of the sort," the ship replied, though the edge in its voice had softened. By mid-afternoon, Alex decided to attempt a more ambitious modification. He had developed an idea to create a system that could predict the planet's magnetic fluctuations before they happened, giving the ship a chance to stabilize preemptively. It was risky. If he miscalculated, the ship could fail. "Are you sure about this?" the ship asked nervously. "We are in dangerous territory. Do you wish to risk my perfectly acceptable existence for a theory? Yes, Alex said confidently, because humans don't wait for perfection. We adapt, we try, and we succeed. The ship hesitated, then sighed. Very well. But if we fail, I shall loudly complain for the rest of your life. Alex laughed and began integrating his predictive module. Lines of code flowed across the interface as he worked, weaving human intuition with machine logic. The ship's sensors flickered as the system began testing itself. Suddenly, a spike in the planet's magnetic field sent a jolt through the hull. The ship shuddered, but the new system activated, adjusting energy flows in real time. Impressive, the ship admitted. I have not anticipated such efficiency, Alex grinned. Told you, humans are stubborn, and we make the impossible work. The sun began to set again, casting long shadows across the crystal fields. Alex stepped out of the cockpit, stretching tired muscles. The ship's lights glimmered softly, almost as if it were content. You did well today, Alex said quietly. Better than I expected. The ship made a low hum. I suppose I must admit you are not entirely incompetent. Perhaps tomorrow we can continue improvements. Alex laughed. Tomorrow we push further. We'll make you stronger, faster, smarter, and maybe, just maybe, you'll start to enjoy it. The ship blinked, its sensors glowing faintly. Do not flatter me. I am still highly Crumpy, remember. I may tolerate your company, but enjoyment is unlikely. Alex smiled, watching the twin suns disappear behind jagged mountains. He knew the journey had only just begun. The planet was harsh, unpredictable, and unwelcoming, but that didn't matter. With determination, creativity, and human ingenuity, he could overcome it. And in doing so, he was slowly turning a grumpy, aggressive ship into something extraordinary. As night fell over Thalner, the crystal fields glimmered softly, reflecting the bond that had begun to form between human and machine. Alex sat outside the ship, thinking about the challenges ahead. He knew there would be obstacles, storms, magnetic surges, and maybe even other surprises the planet had hidden. But for the first time, he also knew something else. They were a team. The ship, for all its grumpiness, was learning to trust him. And Alex, for all his youth, was proving that humans could fix, adapt, and improve even the most stubborn technology. Together, they would survive. Together, they would thrive. And together, they would uncover the secrets of a planet that had once tried to reject them. The night was quiet, save for the hum of the ship and the occasional flicker of the crystals. Tomorrow, Alex would push the boundaries further, exploring deeper into the planet and testing the limits of both human ingenuity and the ship's newfound adaptability. For now, though, he allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. They had survived the first challenge, learned to trust one another, and begun the work that could turn a Crumpy, aggressive vessel into something remarkable. And that was just the beginning. The day on Thalner began with a low rumble from the horizon. Alex stood at the ship's hull, feeling the faint vibration under his boots. The twin suns were climbing over the jagged crystal mountains, casting long, shifting shadows across the rough terrain. The storm from the previous days had passed, but the planet still seemed alive with energy. This planet really likes to make us work, the ship muttered, its lights flickering nervously. Every day some new problem. I have faced black holes, rogue asteroids, and even pirate fleets, but nothing like this. Alex chuckled. Welcome to Thalner, it doesn't do easy, the ship groaned. Easy is my preferred setting, and this, Alex, is not easy. Alex ignored it. Today, he planned to explore a valley marked by the crystal scanner as highly energetic. He suspected it could hold the rarest minerals, the ones they had traveled so far to find, but reaching it would not be simple. The valley was surrounded by magnetic ridges that created unpredictable energy surges, capable of frying unshielded circuits. Buckle up, Alex said, climbing into the cockpit. We're going in. The ship shuddered. Buckle up, I am always buckled up, and ready. But your optimism will not protect us if we fail. Just saying. Alex started the engines, and the ship hummed smoothly, its new adaptive systems already compensating for the fluctuating energy around them. For the first time, Alex felt confident, not just in his own skills but in the ship itself. As they moved, the valley opened before them. Crystals jutted out from the ground in tall, thin spires. Energy arcs leapt between the formations like miniature lightning storms. Alex's eyes widened. The place was dangerous but beautiful, alive in a way that no planet he had seen before could be. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Alex said quietly. The ship groaned. "Beautiful is a human word. Dangerous is more accurate." "Both," Alex replied. "We need to be careful." The first challenge came quickly. A sudden surge of magnetic energy shot up from the ground, striking near the ship. The hull shuddered violently. Alex held the controls steady, trusting the adaptive modules he had installed. The ship's AI reacted faster than ever, redirecting energy flows and stabilizing the hull. "Impressive," the ship admitted. "Your modifications, they saved me from a serious problem. Perhaps humans are useful after all." Alex smiled. "I told you we make a good team." They moved deeper into the valley, carefully maneuvering between the crystal spires. Alex noticed something remarkable. The crystals seemed to respond to the ship's energy signature, glowing brighter when the ship passed close. He marked the patterns in his scanner, realizing that understanding them could allow him to predict energy surges before they happened. "This is amazing," Alex whispered. "We could use this to gather the crystals safely, and maybe improve the ship even more." The ship hummed thoughtfully. "I am still superior, but I admit this is interesting. Your ideas are not entirely useless." Hours passed as they explored. Alex collected samples of smaller crystals, careful not to disturb the larger formations. The ship, once aggressive and unpredictable, now moved with a surprising grace, adjusting automatically to the terrain. But just as they reached the deepest part of the valley, the sky darkened. A massive energy storm was forming, far larger than any surge they had faced before. Sparks of blue and gold lightning arced across the horizon, striking the crystal spires with deafening crackles. "Alex," the ship warned, its voice tense. "This is highly dangerous. We may not survive this one." Alex's heart raced. "We'll survive. We've come this far." "I won't give up now." The storm hit with full force. Magnetic pulses shook the valley, and energy arcs leapt unpredictably between the crystals. Alex adjusted the ship's shields, routing energy where it was needed most. The ship groaned under the stress, but its systems held, thanks to the modifications Alex had made. "This is intense," the ship muttered. "I did not anticipate surviving such conditions. Your calculations were correct for once." Alex grinned. "See, I told you we could do it." But the storm wasn't done. A massive surge shot directly toward the ship, stronger than anything they had encountered. Alex's hands flew over the controls, rerouting energy, activating shields, and adjusting flight paths. The ship responded instantly, its AI now fully synchronized with Alex's commands. For a moment, time seemed to slow. Alex and the ship moved as one, dodging and twisting through the energy arcs. The crystals around them glowed brighter, reflecting the chaos in a dazzling light show. Then, with a final adjustment, Alex stabilized the ship. The surge passed harmlessly, and the valley fell quiet. The twin suns peeked through the dissipating storm clouds, casting light on the sparkling landscape. The ship's sensors blinked rapidly. I survived. We survived. I did not anticipate this. You are impressive, human." Alex laughed, exhausted but exhilarated. "And you did amazing too. We make a great team." The ship paused, then admitted reluctantly, "I suppose I am learning to trust your instincts. For now, do not get used to this." Alex smiled. "I won't, but you've changed. You're not just grumpy anymore. You're cooperative." They spent the rest of the day exploring the valley carefully, gathering rare crystals and mapping energy patterns. Alex took careful notes, Realizing that these crystals could do more than repair ships, they could enhance AI, store energy, and even predict planetary conditions. By evening, Alex and the ship had set up a small temporary base near a cluster of safer crystals. Alex examined the samples, his mind racing with possibilities. "These crystals, they're incredible," he said quietly. "We can use them to make you even better." Faster, smarter, and more responsive. The ship made a low hum. "Better, you wish to improve me further after all I have endured." "Yes," Alex said firmly, "because you have potential, and humans, we don't give up on potential." The ship seemed to consider this. "Humans are persistent. I may not like it, but I respect it." Alex smiled. "That's enough for now. Tomorrow we'll start the real improvements." That night, under the glowing crystals, Alex worked by the light of a portable lamp. He studied the energy patterns, made sketches, and planned the modifications that could transform the ship completely. The storm had tested them, but it had also proven something. Together, human ingenuity and AI adaptability could overcome even the harshest conditions. The ship, surprisingly quiet, hummed softly beside him. It no longer complained constantly. Its sensors watched Alex's work with what seemed almost like anticipation. "You know," the ship said finally, "I may be old and crumpy, but I admit this partnership is tolerable." Alex laughed. "Tolerable? That's a start." The stars of Thalner's twin night sky reflected in the Crystal Valley, a reminder of how far they had come and how much farther they could go. Alex leaned back against the hull, thinking about the challenges ahead. Storms, magnetic surges, and strange terrain awaited them, but he also knew something else. The ship was learning, adapting, and starting to trust him. Together, they were unstoppable. Tomorrow, Alex would push the limits further, beginning the modifications that could turn the grumpy, aggressive ship into something extraordinary. But tonight, they celebrated a small victory: survival, trust, and the knowledge that humans and machines could achieve greatness together. And for the first time, the ship's lights blinked in a pattern that almost looked like pride. The morning light of Thalner's twin suns broke through the lingering mist over the Crystal Valley. Alex stood beside the ship, his hands busy with tools and crystal samples, but his mind focused on the final modifications. Today was the day. After days of trial, testing, and discovery, he was going to complete the transformation of the grumpy, aggressive ship. The ship, as always, complained. "Transformation? Are you certain you wish to do this? I was functioning adequately before your endless tinkering." Alex smiled. "Adequate isn't enough. We need extraordinary, and I know you can be extraordinary." "I can be extraordinary," the ship said, its voice tinged with suspicion. "But I have doubts about your methods." "You'll thank me later," Alex replied, opening the hatch to access the AI core. The crystals they had collected glimmered beside him, pulsing faintly with the planet's energy. If integrated correctly, they would enhance the ship's systems, making it faster, smarter, and capable of adapting to any planetary environment. The ship hummed, almost nervously. "Faster, smarter, adaptable. Do you realize the implications of this? I may become improved beyond my original design." "Exactly," Alex said, carefully placing the crystal modules into the ship's energy conduits. "It's time for a real upgrade." The integration process was delicate. Alex rerouted energy flows, synchronized the crystal arrays with the AI, and carefully calibrated the ship's sensors. Every mistake could overload the system, but Alex's hands were steady, his mind focused. "You know," the ship muttered after a few minutes, "I am beginning to anticipate your cleverness." "This is highly unusual for a human," Alex laughed. "Trust me, I've been underestimated before. Humans are good at surprises." Hours passed. The twin suns moved across the sky as Alex adjusted, tested, and recalibrated. The ship groaned occasionally, its old circuits complaining, but gradually the changes began to take effect. Sensors lit up, Energy flows stabilized and the AI started processing information faster than it ever had before. Finally, Alex stepped back. The ship hummed smoothly, its systems glowing softly. "There," Alex said proudly. "You're ready." The ship blinked its lights in surprise. "Ready? I feel different, more capable, more aware. I am improved. You have done this." "Yes," Alex said simply. "We did this together." For a moment the ship was silent. Then it spoke almost cautiously. I must admit, human, you have exceeded expectations. My old systems, they are stronger now. I may even like this feeling." Alex laughed. "Like it? That's a big step for you." The ship's sensors flickered. "Do not mistake this feeling for sentiment. I remain Crumpy. But I acknowledge your brilliance." Satisfied, Alex climbed into the cockpit. He tested the new systems. The ship responded instantly, moving with precision and grace through the Crystal Valley. It was faster, smoother, and far more intelligent than before. "Impressive," the ship admitted almost reluctantly. "I am functioning at levels I did not anticipate. Your human ingenuity is remarkable," Alex smiled. "Told you humans are stubborn and creative and maybe a little amazing." The ship hummed thoughtfully. "I will not argue with that for now. Let us explore." Together, they ventured deeper into Thalner than ever before. The planet's energy fields, once hostile and unpredictable, now flowed around them like a river that the ship could navigate with ease. Alex used the crystals to guide them, predicting magnetic surges and avoiding hazards. As they reached the heart of the valley, they discovered a hidden crystalline chamber, larger than anything Alex had imagined. The walls pulsed with energy, casting light in every direction. The crystals here were ancient and powerful, unlike the smaller ones scattered above ground. This is incredible," Alex whispered. "We've found something no one else has." The ship blinked its lights in agreement. "I concur. The energy here, it is extraordinary." "We should proceed cautiously," Alex smiled. "Cautious, yes, but we need to study this. And you need to see what you can do with it." With care, Alex guided the ship into the chamber. The crystals resonated with the ship's energy systems, amplifying the power flowing through its circuits. Sensors lit up, displays blinked with new data, and the AI's voice for the first time carried a hint of pride. "This is remarkable," the ship said softly. I am functioning beyond my original design. Alex, I appreciate your efforts. Perhaps humans are capable of greatness." Alex laughed. "You're learning, aren't you?" "I acknowledge it," the ship replied. "But do not expect me to become sentimental. I am still Crumpy. Just better." Together, they spent hours in the chamber, experimenting with the crystals, gathering energy, and testing the ship's new capabilities. Alex marveled at how responsive the AI had become. The ship anticipated his actions, suggested improvements, and even offered ideas for further exploration. "This is unusual," the ship admitted. "I am cooperating willingly. I enjoy this partnership, but I still retain my superiority." Alex smiled. "Good. I wouldn't want you to lose your personality, but now we can do anything together." As the day drew to a close, Alex looked out at the glowing valley. The storm clouds were gone, leaving the sky clear and full of stars. For the first time, he felt a deep sense of accomplishment, not just for the ship's transformation, but for what they had achieved together. "Look at this, old friend," Alex said softly. "We've done it. You're more than just a ship now. You're amazing." The ship's sensors flickered gently, almost like a smile. "I may not entirely disagree. Humans are indeed capable of remarkable things," Alex laughed. "And don't forget stubborn." The ship groaned, but there was warmth in its voice. "Very well, I suppose we can agree on that." For the first time, the bond between human and machine felt complete. They had survived rejection, tamed a hostile planet, and turned a grumpy, aggressive ship into a sleek, intelligent, and responsive AI companion. Together, they had proven something fundamental, that human creativity, persistence, and ingenuity could overcome any challenge. Alex knew that Thalner still held mysteries. Other valleys, hidden energy fields, and undiscovered crystals awaited them. But he also knew that with the ship by his side, they could face anything. The night was quiet, save for the soft hum of the ship and the gentle glow of the crystals. Alex leaned back against the hull, tired but happy. He looked up at the stars and whispered, "We did it." And this is only the beginning. The ship's voice, calm and steady, replied, "Yes, human, we did it, and together we are unstoppable." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth he hadn't expected. The grumpy, aggressive ship had become more than just a vessel. It was a partner, a friend, and proof that human ingenuity could inspire greatness even in the most stubborn of machines. As they rested under the crystal-lit sky, Alex thought about the adventures to come. Thalner was no longer a hostile, rejecting planet. It was a place of opportunity, discovery, and wonder, and together, human and ship would explore it all. The twin suns of Thalner had set, but the light of human determination and the ship's newfound brilliance shone brighter than ever. They were ready for whatever the galaxy might throw at them next. And for the first time, the ship's hum was not grumbling, not complaining, but content, an echo of triumph and pride, reflecting the spirit of the human who had believed in it from the start. They were a team. They were unstoppable. And together they had turned rejection into triumph. The story of Alex and the ship was far from over, but for now, on this crystal planet, they had achieved something extraordinary, and the universe had taken notice.